Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Do married people have more to live for than single people? This should be a controversial comment, but I think it's a comment I want people to give me their opinion on. I have very strong feelings about both being single and being married, which come out on Love Beyond the Sea. I've got a playlist called Controversial Videos that's not the exact title, but you can see it on YouTube in the playlist, Controversial Collection, that's what it is. And I put videos in there that hopefully are good food for thought. So when I thought of, do married people have more to live for than single people? I was 53 when I got married, and I am now 7.5 years older than that. No, I'm 61, so I have had a lot of experience marrying someone from another country, Philippines. I was back in 2015, so I had a lot of perspective. Being single, a lot of time to, if I wanted to, change my mind about, which is better, being single or being married. Now I've been married. Now, I think that in general, married people do have more to live for, but like with anything, there's always the other side of the coin, that when there's something good, there's something that could go wrong. Having something to live for, like a family, and by that I mean children, in addition to your wife, that you hope to make your life better, well, there's a lot of responsibility. Things could go wrong. Children could get sick. Children could be very disobedient. You could argue more with your wife about new things that come up, new circumstances that, hadn't been there before. And so there's this tension. It's a good thing. It's something to live for. You're living for somebody other than yourself. But there is responsibility with time and money. But I think that's a good thing. A little risky? Yeah. But you know what? If a person says, I don't want all that, I'm just going to focus on me and my life and be alone. Yeah, on the surface, that sounds great, because they're essentially living for themselves. But I think that the way it usually works out is when your lifestyle is one that's just focused on you, that gets to a point where there is no more satisfaction anymore. And I think with more people in America anyway, saying that they're not interested in being married, or they're getting married later, or they're not interested in having children, that they're deciding they want to live for themselves, and that's the best life. But is it really the best life? Let me know what you think. I think the challenges of marriage make you grow as a person. It forces you to not be selfish if you want the relationship to work out. That's a good thing. There's great blessings in marriage that you're never going to see being single. I think marriage is where two people come together for lifelong intimacy and raising a family, if God wills. Normally he does. And that's where the benefit is. As a single person, I was trying not to live for myself. I was trying to get married, and I found it very frustrating that I didn't have anyone to give myself to. Someone once told me, well, if you want to give yourself to somebody and you're single and complaining about it, why don't you just go, work full-time at a homeless shelter or something like that? And that's kind of missing the point. It's not exactly what I was talking to. I think it should be clear that when you're missing companionship and profitable activity, that marriage fits that bill. And so I think married people do have more to live for, but that doesn't mean that I think that single people have nothing to live for. So please don't misunderstand me on that. I was single for 53 years. I tried to keep involved with many things I thought were good. And, the fact that I was single was always a distraction. And I just couldn't do it. End of the day, I just figured I needed a wife, which I did. And I finally found one. And I think a lot about her future. And I thought a lot about, trying to give her that baby. And, our future's getting in focus better the longer we're married. And I do think that I have more to live for now than before, even if it's just one woman, one person. And since I married a Filipina, the family is going to be involved, and you're going to, have to support her in her efforts to help provide a better life in some way for some family members. If you want to do that, if you're supportive of her doing that, that's going to be really good for you as a husband if you marry a Filipina. And so there's not just your spouse with a Filipina, it's always her family on top of that. But even if it was just my Isa, I would feel that I had more to live for, than before I found my love beyond the sea.